Hi guys, DrasticSkuba here, and we're on our next part of our Dragon Age Road to Inquisition playthrough. We've just saved Connor for Redcliffe Castle with a demon, and we've also recruited the mages for the Circle of Magi, so I think it'll take a while because that's what seems to happen with party chat. It takes a long time, but the main part, if not all of this video, is going to be another party chat video just like the last one I had before. So most of this will be party chat, so if you want to hear what party members have got to say, then stay and have a listen. If not, you might be as well skipping on to the next video. So either way, it's up to yourselves. We'll go to this den first. Oh, I jumped a wee bit there. What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
That's not what I meant.
It's what you asked.
Are you going to answer my question?
I did. Parshera, was there anything else?
Fucking dick. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
What's an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
Why does he care about the Blight?
Why do you?
I'm a Grey Warden, it's my job.
Exactly. You don't ask, nor do I. The Arishok sends me and I go.
Right. Did you find the answer?
A portion of it.
Don't you have to report back again?
Yes.
When you gotta do that?
Never. I cannot go home.
Well, you can stay with us.
Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
You said something about mages.
We have no mages such as you do. We have beasts in the shape of men who perform tricks.
Why don't you have mages?
We have mages, we simply don't have the sort you do.
What sort do you have?
Our mages are controlled to do less harm than yours. They have their tongues cut out and are kept in pens.
Magic isn't entirely evil.
As a fish stranded by the tide knows the air, or a drowning man knows the sea, so does a mage know magic.
Everything is dangerous in excess. No, in fact, I'm not even gonna say it. Knowledge is... Nah, it's a bit cheeky, he'll go mental. Aye, everything is dangerous in excess.
Can you have just a little drowning? Some things come only in excess. Parshera, are we going to fight the Darkspawn, or chatter until they grow bored and leave?
I don't know a question.
Very well.
What do you mean your mages are beasts?
I misspoke. They are not beasts. Beasts learn eventually.
So what's so terrible about magic?
Mages? Is there some reason you insist upon discussing this?
It's a subject of concern to me.
You live in this world just as I do. You already know what magic is.
What is magic?
A sword with no hilt. There is no use talking of this. We should move on. Very well.
That's enough.
Then I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Plus 19, that's what I like to see. Happens if I talk to him there. It doesn't say him saying yes, it kind of freezes. Anyway, whatever. I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
That's enough for now.
Then I suggest we
Okay,
move on.
I don't worry.
I am hardly surprised.
What were you quoting earlier?
The Kyun, the path to wisdom. I am not surprised you don't recognize it.
What is the Kun exactly?
Ask a Tamasran. They know how to explain things to children. It is not for me to teach the Kyun. Speak, then.
Mages aren't as dangerous as you say.
Clearly your chantry agrees.
Not all mages turn to blood magic.
My people have a tale. An Ashkari walked among the fields once, observing the laborers at work. Flax bloomed all around him, the color of still water. The air rippled like a curtain. As he stopped to examine a blossom, a bee stung him on the hand. The Ashkari turned to a laborer for aid and noticed for the first time the heavy gloves and coat she wore. As she tended to him, the Ashkari asked them why she was dressed so in such stifling heat. "To avoid your fate," she replied. "But there are many thousands of bees here," the Ashkari said to her, "and only one stung me. Surely your caution is unwarranted." "The stinger is always a surprise," agreed the laborer. "But so is the bee that simply passes one by."
I don't really know what to say to him. I've never really had these conversations with him much. I'll just tell him he has a point.
May we not go on, then?
I don't know a question.
Very well.
That's enough.
Then I suggest we move on.
Cool. Let's go.
As you wish.
Stenopus first 14. Let's talk to him again.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
You thought it was Carlo?
You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually.
So you tell me why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
What happened?
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
That sounds like what happened to me at Ostagar.
I heard the stories of Ostagar. Your kith stood their ground when others fled. No one can do more than that. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
You might have dropped it in the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
Did they know where it was?
They said they found me with nothing.
Did you believe them?
I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
Over a lost blade?
That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
We could search for it.
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Where did it happen?
Near Lake Calenhad.
We'll find it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Sweet. So that'll do for him right now. Speak to Liliana, see what she's got to say.
I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer.
I know what you mean.
I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows.
We're all entitled to silliness now and then.
I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes, I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me.
You never have to feel afraid with me.
What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am.
You're cute when you're embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm just flushed because of the heat.
I've always wanted to be more than friends.
Really? No one told me. You felt the same way and didn't do me the courtesy of informing me? You made me say all those things. Why couldn't you have said them first? Oh, you... Oh, how very awkward.
I thought you were comfortable around me.
Well, yes, but don't question me. I am a woman and I reserve the right to be inconsistent. Oh, chivalry is so dead, making the lady spill her guts like that.
Kiss her. There we go. Women, Isadora, you did it. You've had Morrigan, now you're going to get some Liliana.
Well, that settles it then.
Let's speak to her again.
The stars are out.
There's still beauty to be found.
It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally. Their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier?
Tell me the story.
A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea, that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier.
That's a beautiful story.
This story is one of my favorites. A tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist?
If we lose hope in love, we're truly lost. Say anything she wants to hear,
I never expected you
really.
to say that. It is a pleasant surprise.
Why is that a surprise?
I have to say there is a certain severity to you. Finding a person behind that all is nice. Maybe you should let your softer side show more often. Sometimes following your heart, not your head, leads you to remarkable places.
Were they running away and hiding in the chantry? Anywho.
I'm here for you.
Good. We need to talk
Of course.
about us.
Wait, you want to talk
Oh.
about us?
I'm
Is
trying
there
to seduce
something
you,
bothering
but
you?
I don't think it's gonna happen. You're the best thing ever.
Really? You think so? You're so sweet.
Oh well, she ain't getting slept with yet, but it'll happen. Surely. See if Wynne has anything to say. She'll talk for quite a bit.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
You're very sprightly for your age, though.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time. But there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
I'm sure you'll be around for years.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
Oh, cheer up, smile.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
There was Connor.
Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
But it's this knowledge that drives you to be cautious.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains their humanity, then they're not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
+1? I just gave you the greatest news ever.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
Arrow Howe massacred my family, and Duncan helped me escape.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Arl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
I'm the son of Bryce Cousland, Turn of Highover.
You are the last of the Couslands? I had no idea. My lord?
Howe will pay for what he's done.
Do not be blinded by your desire for revenge. Rendon Howe will get what he deserves in time. Such deeds cannot go unpunished. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I'll do my duty, but I won't forget what Howe did.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
Oh, +2, let's get an extreme.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
Means I've been choosing to do something important.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight.
Ooh,
Ultimately,
hips are clicked
being
and
a Grey
everything. I think I'm
Warden is
getting
about
old.
serving others.
Ugh.
About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
I serve as a protector.
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I'll keep it in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
Having power can find you.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
No, about
I've
Liliana,
seen
me.
the way she looks at you, the familiarity with which you speak, how she always finds a way to place herself next to you.
I like being with her. Oh, missed it.
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Liliana is a remarkable girl, sincere and guileless, and she has opened her heart to you. I would not like to see her hurt.
I'd never hurt her.
Not intentionally, no. But there is great potential for tragedy here, for one or both of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires.
I'm a human being with emotions.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person, who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else.
No, it's not.
A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
What you think I'm going to tell it about?
You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary
So, you're just
anguish
jealous then?
later on.
I'm not giving up on what we have.
I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
I'll slap you in the face with it. Fucking dafty.
What's on your mind?
You feeling better?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
This is the same day, mate. In fact, this is the same 5 minutes. I'm making sure everybody is well.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind?
Ba-ba-boom. Just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
No, I think it's the best thing that happened to me.
You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I'll be ready when the time comes.
And that gives me hope.
Good. You should have hope. Oh shit! I've just walked away. Didn't mean that.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I know what I've heard in tales.
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
And what happened then?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
I like happy endings.
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all.
If your cunning's high enough, you can actually say what she just said yourself.
Taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
Sweet.
What's on your mind?
It's a Grey Warden. I'll never lived on all my life.
No, you won't.
Don't think I'm meant to be normal.
I don't think so either. You would not have been happy living a dull, uneventful life, dying in obscurity. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
A little.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
And this upset you?
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
It's hard to imagine you as a moody youth.
Well, I was. Dreadfully morose. Surly. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, the chapel. I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
I think she's right.
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. but we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
Priests have to give a lot. They have to give a lot to.
The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
It won't be easy.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
I'm basically just trying to get her relationship as high as possible in order to get her skills up. I think it'll be willpower she gets. Or magic.
What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Oh, look at all these questions. Can't be asked for this. Why didn't you want to stay there?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for the company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I'm sure you'll be able to return.
Perhaps. What's on your mind?
Same again.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
What about your family?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Was it hurt?
I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Who knows what they would have done to me had he been more seriously hurt. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
What a terrible experience for a child.
The barn kept me safe from the village children and the stones they would hurl at me. I was afraid, yes, but it could have been much worse. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
That's a great story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in
At least you learned the danger of magic from the circle.
Without the circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
There's nothing else. Whew, these conversations are some length. How long is this video? Ah, that screen's bright. Oh jeez oh. Aye, that's alright, that's actually not too bad. I thought I'd been on longer than that. Right, we'll go see if Alistair and Morrigan have anything to say, and then that'll be the end of this video.
You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon, and when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up.
Do you have a friend outside the Grey Wardens?
I'm not talking about a friend, exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But, after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim.
That's wonderful.
She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
If you want to, we could try.
Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Right, that'll do him. And I think Morrigan will probably want us to fight Flemeth. But that'll definitely get left to later on.
I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Nah, she's not even wanting me to do that yet. She must have not studied it yet. The grimoire. Right. Hey guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. So it was just a big bunch of party chat basically. We'll see if the dog finds anything while I'm saying it.
Oh, why you little?
Oh, in fact, no, we won't go. We'll watch Elise. What?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
There's hardly any blood drawn, but it shouldn't have.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Hi, we'll just go through all these cutscenes with the dog, just for the sake of it.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
It might have been tasty. I know Sten likes the dog.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts, he means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
I'm sure you're exaggerating.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Go ahead.
Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
Du-du-du-du. Just keep watching.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Trying to find a way through the earth. It's gotta take some time. Good luck. I want to see if I can find anything in the area. It's the only reason I talked to you in the first place. And then you don't even get there. Fine. Right. Anyway guys, as I was saying earlier on, that's going to be the end of this video. We've done our party chats for now. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, and I'm DrasticSkuba, and I'll talk to you later on. Bye bye.